Hello everybody, welcome to this instruction video. In this video I'd like to show you part 7 of Charlotte's Universe. Charlotte's Universe has been designed by Deidre Ice from Look at What I Made, and in the video description you'll find a link to the pattern. In part 7 we're going to be making this band here, and I'll be showing you all the stitches, also the beautiful flowers and the petals and everything that makes up part 7. The yarn that I'm using is Scheepjes stone-washed yarn in various colors. In my color description you can find on my website, the link is in the video description. So let's get started with part 7. Round 68, we're going to continue with the same color we used at the end of the previous part. I'm just going to continue. This is where I'm currently in that single crochet with a slip stitch. So I'm just going to slip stitch to the chain 2 corner space. There we go. And now we're ready to start round 68. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This is your first double, and then work another double crochet in the stitch, chain 2, and 2 more doubles in the same space. So 1 and 2. So that's your corner. 2 doubles, chain 2, and 2 doubles. On the straight edge we're going to work a double crochet on every stitch, also on the first one. So that's the first double, and you're going to work 148 of these. And when you get to your next corner, you're going to work a new corner. So again, 2 doubles, chain 2, and 2 doubles, and then on every stitch a double crochet. Go all the way around. So this is a nice easy round, just doubles, and after you've done your last double, close on the chain 3 here with a slip stitch. Round 69, you're currently here on the chain 3 with a slip stitch. We're just going to move to the chain 2 corner space. So a slip stitch on the next stitch and into the chain 2 corner space. This round we're going to work a corner. There's going to be a half double, chain 2, and a half double, and then on every stitch a half double crochet. If you're using a new color yarn here, you can also start here with a standing half double. I'm going to do a chain 2. This is my first half double, and then another chain 2, which is the corner space. So there are 4 chains here in total, but the first chain 2 is a half double, and the second chain 2 is the corner. Then another half double in the same corner space. So that's your corner, half double, chain 2, half double. Then on the straight edge, work a half double on every stitch, and this you're going to do all the way around. So this is again a very nice relaxing round. So a half double on every stitch all the way round. In your corners it's 1 half double, chain 2, and a half double. And when you come back to all the way around, when you come to your first stitch, you're just going to close on the chain 2. That's in there, close in there with a slip stitch, and then you can also fasten off your yarn if you're following Deidre's colorway. Round 70, we're going to start round 70 in any chain 2 corner space. And although I'm continuing with the same color, I am attaching a new yarn because I just happen to be at the end of a ball. So for round 70, Deidre also uses a new color here. Attach with a standing double crochet. So yarn over, hold on to the loop, and work a double. And then another double crochet in the same corner space, chain 2, and 2 doubles. So 1 and 2. So your corner is 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. We're now going to work a double crochet on every stitch except for the first one. So we're going to skip the first stitch and then it's a double on every stitch. So you see here, that's the first stitch, that one there. You're going to skip that and then come to the second and work a double. And then continue and work a double crochet on every stitch. When you get to your next corner, it's again 2 doubles, chain 2 and 2 doubles, just like this one. Then again skip the first stitch and work a double crochet on all the other stitches. Go all the way around, again a very nice relaxed round. Just remember to skip the first stitch and then close on your first stitch, and you can also fasten off. Round 71, new color on my hook. In this round we're going to work a back post single crochet on every stitch, and in a corner single, chain 2 and a single. That's what we're going to do. So I'll just get you started. So in the corner, the first one is of course a standing single crochet, then chain 2 and just move it up a bit, and another single in the same space. So that's your corner, single, chain 2 and a single. Then on every stitch a back post single crochet, especially this first one. So from the back around the post, grab your hook, and then that's the first one, and that first one is often a little tricky. And then after this, you usually, it doesn't go fast because these stitches are not fast, but it does get easier. And then a back post single crochet on every stitch. When you're to your next corner, it's a single, chain 2 and a single, so same as here, and repeat, go all the way around, close on your first stitch with a slip stitch. Round 72, you're now in the single crochet here, the standing single crochet with a slip stitch. That's where you ended the previous round. We're going to move to the chain 2 space with a slip stitch. So into the chain 2 space, and I'm actually just going to change colors here. So I'm going to do this with the slip stitch to change colors. If you're using Dedri's colorway, you do not take the new color here, you just use your old color and continue. The reason why I'm doing this is that I can just follow the pattern with you. Now the corner stitch for round 72 is 2 doubles, chain 2 and 2 doubles. Now the first is of course a chain 3. Now, having made a new color here, I could have also done this with a standing double crochet. That's up to you. I'm doing the chain 3 here so that I can follow the pattern. Then another double crochet, chain 2 and 2 more doubles. So this is a normal corner, 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets. And there we go. Now on the edge we're going to work V stitches. We're going to skip the first stitch, and that's that stitch. We're going to skip that stitch. Kind of, you see how your corner falls a bit over it. So we're going to skip the first stitch, then come to the second stitch and work a V stitch in there. And that's going to be a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet. So it's double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet. So that's your first V stitch. We're going to skip 2 stitches and then work a V stitch again, and we're going to repeat that to the end. So I'm going to skip 1, 2 stitches and then work a V stitch, and that's a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet. So you have skipped 2 stitches. Now repeat this to the end. I'll show you again. So skip 1, 2 stitches and then work a V stitch. That's a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet. Now you're going to work 52 of these. 1, 2, actually 53 in total, but the first one doesn't fall part of the repeat. Continue these V stitches until you're almost to the corner. You'll have one stitch left at the end, but I'll just show you that. So I've now worked 3 V stitches as part of the repeat. You're going to work 52, then plus the first one will be the total. But continue this, so skip 2 stitches and work a V stitch in your third stitch until you're almost to the end. I'm almost to the end of the edge. I just have one more V stitch to make, so I'm just going to skip 2 stitches and then work a V stitch, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. At this point you should have 1 stitch left. You're going to skip that last stitch and then work a new corner, and the corner is 2 doubles, 2, chain 2 and 2 double crochets, all in that chain corner space, and then you're back. There you go. And then you're back at the point where we were when we started. So on the next edge you're going to do everything we just done. So go all the way around, and when you get back to the first stitch, that's going to be the chain 3, close on there with a slip stitch and fasten off. Round 73. New color yarn over and hold on to that for a standing double crochet. Another double in the corner space, chain 2 and 2 more doubles. This is a very standard corner, 2 doubles, chain 2 and 2 doubles. The repeat on the straight edge. I'm going to work a double crochet in the first stitch, and this one is this stitch here. It might be slightly hidden by your corner. Double crochet in the first stitch. We're now going to skip the next stitch and then come to the chain space. So we're going to skip this stitch and then come to the V stitch, and then in the chain space of the V stitch we're going to work a popcorn. So that means first 5 doubles, that's what we start with. So 1, 2, yeah, I just made a small mistake. I hope you noticed this. I missed the chain 2 space. I was thinking it was a little tight. Now, this happens to all of us. Don't stress when you make a mistake. Just go back and fix it. So first, chain 2. And now we work the popcorn. So it's also about looking at your work and thinking, oh, this can't be right. It looks too tight. 2, 3, 4 and 5 double crochets. That's the start of the popcorn. Then open up this loop, come back to the first double crochet you worked, pick up your working yarn and pull the loop through the first stitch. And this is the repeat, the chain 2 and the popcorn. You're going to repeat this till you're to the other side. So chain 2, and these chain 2s, don't work them too tight. Give them just a little room. Maybe work them slightly looser than you normally would. And that's so that your work will feel tight for this round anyway. But if you make these chain 2s just a little bit looser, it'll just ease your work a little bit. So then a popcorn again in the next chain space. And this is the chain 1 space that's in the V stitch. So I'm just going a little faster here because these are just 5 doubles, and then we turn those 5 doubles into a popcorn. 5 doubles, you can open up the loop, then come to the first stitch worked, pick up your loop and pull through. Now I've done the repeat twice, and you see these chain spaces, they kind of tend to pull your popcorns together. So if you make them just a bit looser, 1, 2, then you've got just a little bit more ease on your stitches. Well, I'll show you one more popcorn and then I'm going to jump to the end of the row. So you're going to work a popcorn in every V stitch and chain 2s in between. And then I'll see you at the end of the row when you just for the last stitch in the corner. So I'll see you back. Just do this last popcorn, go to the first stitch and pull through. Now repeat this, chain 2 and a popcorn in every V-stitch, and chain 1 space of that V-stitch. I'll see you back when you've worked your last popcorn in the last V-stitch before the corner. Almost to the end of the row. See, I've worked a popcorn in every V-stitch and there are chain 2s in between. Now here just the last 2 stitches. Just work the last popcorn. Now I chain 2 again and give this chain 2 just a little space. Chain 2. You have 3 double crochets here. You've got the first one that still belongs to the V-stitch. Then you've got another double crochet, and then there's this last one here. On that last one we're going to work a double. So that means you're going to skip this double crochet from the V and the next one, and then come here to the double crochet before the chain space and work a double in there. You're now to the corner. And this gets, well, the normal corner, so 2 doubles, chain 2, and 2 doubles. And then you are, well, at the same point as we were when we started. So when you've completed this corner, chain 2 and 2 doubles. I'm going to do the same as on the start of this edge. There we go. So now you're at the same point we were when we started. So it means a double in the first stitch, then chain 2, remember the chain 2, and then work a popcorn in every chain 1 space of the V-stitch with chain 2s in between. Go all the way around, and when you get back to your first stitch, that will be the double crochet here. Close on that stitch with a slip stitch and fasten off. Round 74. I have a new color yarn on my hook, and we're going to start in any chain 2 corner space, and we start in there with a standing single crochet, chain 2 and a single crochet in the same space, and that's your new corner made. For the straight edge we're going to skip the first stitch. That's this stitch here, and on the next 2 work a single crochet. Skip this and come to the next. So 1 and to the next 2. Skipping 1 stitch, work 2 single crochets. We're now going to come down. Let me just go to the space that's you see here these V stitches that I have here in the green. I'm going to work a double crochet in there, and we're going to work in front of the chain 2 space that's here to the back. So the way I have my hook now is the way we're going to make the stitch. So here's the V stitch and there's a double crochet. So this space that's in there, there's not really a chain space or anything, but just like that opening. So we're going to work a double crochet in that space. So yarn over, so insert your hook, and make sure that your chain space really is to the back, that you don't want to nick the chain space with you. So just the double crochet in that opening. So you've not worked over the chain space. Yeah. And now you are going to come to that chain space and work a single crochet in there. We're now going to start the repeat that you're going to do between all the popcorns. You're going to skip the popcorn and come to the chain space. Work a single crochet in the chain space. Now come down, and between the V stitches there's this opening, this gap. Work a double crochet in that gap. So yarn over, and then make sure that you're going to miss the chain 2 space to the back. So see how I'm making sure that you miss that chain space. So really pull it to the back, fold it over, then you can't accidentally work into it. And a double crochet. So you're not connected to the chain space now. And now do come back to the chain space and work another single crochet. So you've worked 3 stitches, so a single in the chain space, a double crochet here between the V's, 2 rows down, and then a single again in the chain space. This you're going to repeat till you get to the last space, the last chain space for the last popcorn. I'll show you again. So in the next chain space, so it's a single crochet, then a double crochet here in the space, kind of where my fingers was trying to poke through in that space there. Yarn over, and pull your chain 2 space to the back that you don't accidentally work over it. And you're really going to have to fold your work and your stitches and everything. So a double crochet and then another single in the chain space. So I've now done the repeat twice. You need to do quite a few more. You're going to continue this until you've reached the space before the last popcorn. So continue this. So a single crochet, double between the chain, between the V stitches, missing the chain space, and then a single crochet again until you're almost to the other side. I'll see you back when you're reaching, when you're roughly here, the equivalent on the other side. I've worked all of these repeats. I'm now currently in the chain space before the last popcorn. So I've worked the double crochet and the single as always. I'm going to skip the last popcorn and come to the chain space after the popcorn. Then work a single crochet in that chain space and come down, and again in that opening there work your last double, just like the others. There we go. There are 3 stitches left. Work a single crochet on each of those. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Next is the corner, which is again in the same corner as we started with. So a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. And there we go. Everything you've just done, repeat on your next 3 edges also. You get back to the first stitch, close with a slip stitch and fasten off. Round 75, I have a new color yarn on my hook, and we're going to start in any chain 2 corner space. And in that space we start with a standing single crochet, chain 2 and another single. So this is a corner you've made many times before. There we go. So single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the corner space. Then this straight edge, my work is getting larger and harder to get in front of the camera. Now this straight edge, we're going to skip the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3. It's actually the 3 first stitches, and then come to the next stitch, and that's going to be this double crochet here. It won't always be a double crochet, but in this case it is. And in there you're going to work 4 trebles. So treble is twice over. So 1, 2, and work 4 trebles. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 trebles in that one stitch. We're now going to make a picot. It's going to be chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now you're going to come back and make a slip stitch in the first chain that you made. So you're going to come back to the first chain and just work a slip stitch in there, and that's going to create this little ball, and there'll be a small circle inside. So a little ball. That's the picot. Now come back to the stitch in which we already made the 4 trebles and make 4 more trebles in there. So yarn over twice. So in that same stitch work 4 more trebles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can see how this creates like this petal, really this petal here. You have to skip 3 stitches and then make a single crochet. On this first the first stitch that you're skipping is a little hidden. Is this? So if you just pull your work back, you'll see that's the first stitch, that you don't miss that this is a stitch to count. So that's 1, 2, 3. Skip, and then the next stitch, work a single crochet. There you go. And this is the repeat that you're going to do 20 times. So I've just done once. You need to do 19 more. I'll show you one more repeat and then I'll make a jump in the video. And you'll notice that this is not exactly symmetric. No, it's not symmetric is the wrong word, but you'll notice that your petals don't always fall on a double crochet. Read Deidre's notes on that. I'll also come back to that at the end of the row. So a petal again, 4 trebles, so twice over, skipping 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3 stitches, and this time you're here in double crochet, on a single crochet stitch. Sorry. Work the treble. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the picot, so that's again chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to come back, coming back to the first of those 3 chains, make a slip stitch in there. That's your picot again. Another 4 trebles in the stitch where you already have them. Oh, my yarn is coming to an end. And so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's 4 trebles. So this is your second petal. Again, skip 3 stitches and then work a single. So we're going to skip. So again, that first stitch that you're skipping, see how your work is kind of falling over it. So just pull it to the back. Then you see 1, 2, 3 stitches, skip, and a single crochet. There we go. Now I've just worked 2 petals with you. Work 18 more, and then I'll see you back. I've just done the repeat 20 times, so now I have 20 of these flower petals. I'd just like to show you the last bit, and then I'll come back to those petals. Now I have a single crochet here in this double crochet. Then again, skip 3 stitches, and then a treble. 1, 2, 3 stitches, skip, and in the 4th stitch work a treble, which is the first of 4. So we're going to work another flower petal here. 2, 3, 4 trebles, chain 3, and then come back to the first chain and make a slip stitch in there, and then 4 more trebles in the same stitch to complete the petal. That's 1, 2, 3, and the last one, 4. There we go. That's your last petal. That's number 21. You now have 3 stitches left. You see here 1, 2, 3, and you're just going to skip all 3 of those, then come to the corner space and work a corner. It's going to be a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. There you go. And now we're at the same point we were when we started. So on your next edge, repeat everything we've just done on this round also. When you get back to the first stitch, close on there with a slip stitch. Just regarding the placement of the flower petals, you'll notice that some of these petals fall into a double crochet and some of them don't. So like for example this one does, these two don't, and then this one again does. You see that's in the double crochet. Now the ones that fall into a double crochet are numbers 1, 2 and 3 do not. Number 4 does. 5, 6 no. 7 does. So you see it's every third one. So it's 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, here's 16 and 19. So every third one falls into a double crochet. Then 20 does not and 21 also does not. So you've got 21 petals, and starting at the first one, after that every third petal falls exactly into a double crochet. If that's not, then you've skipped too many stitches or something along those lines. So that's just a double check for you. But for the rest, go all the way around and close on your first stitch. And when you've gone all the way around, you've finished the end of this part. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you back soon for the next one.